Hello guys, this is 12th Harbinger and welcome to my channel. In this video, I am going to compare Navia C1 and C2 with a signature weapon, the verdict, and let you know which one should you go for. Without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Let's take a look at what her C1 does. Navia C1 restores 3 energy to Navia and reduces elemental burst cooldown by 1 second whenever a crystallized sharpness stack is consumed while using her elemental skill. She can get up to 9 energy this way and her elemental burst CD can be reduced by 3 seconds. Navia C2 gives a 12% crit rate for each charge of crystallized sharpness stack consumed. You can get a maximum of 36% crit rate. Additionally, when her elemental skill hits, it shoots an extra burst hit. Only one instance of this extra hit can be shot while using her elemental skill. The main focus here is the 36% crit rate. Moving on to her signature weapon, the Verdict. It has a high base attack of 674 and gives 22.1% crit rate. It gives 20% attack and up to 36% elemental skill damage. Whenever a character in your team picks up a crystallized shard, you get a seal which increases your elemental skill damage by 18%. You can have a maximum of 2 seals. Now between a C1, C2 and signature weapon, which one should you go for? Her C1 just gives her some energy restoration and more uptime on her burst. If you use her with another Geo battery and build enough energy recharge on her, you can get her burst back easily. As a result, it is not that great. Navia's burst gives crystallized sharpness stacks, so her C1 will let you get the crystallized stacks faster as the burst cooldown is reduced by 3 seconds. As a result, you won't have any downtime on it. However, the crystallized sharpness stack from her burst has a cooldown of 2.4 seconds. As a result, her C1 will let you get only one stack faster. The energy restoration can let you run more offensive stats on Navia, but I don't think it's worth your primogems. Another job of her C1 is being a stepping stone for her C2. Her C2 is amazing as it gives up to 36% crit rate. The 36% crit rate is huge, but it might not be needed if you use Marechaussee Hunter on her in Navia Furina teams. However, the 36% crit rate from her C2 when paired with the Marechaussee Hunter lets you completely ignore crit rate and focus only on getting crit damage and attack percent to get more damage on your Navia. Also, C2 is more versatile unlike Marechaussee, which is restricted to only Furina teams. So the only reason you would want to pull her C1 is to go for her C2, just like Raiden Shogun. Now for her weapon. Her weapon is more versatile and not limited to Navia alone unlike her C1 and C2. However, her weapon is not much of an upgrade over her other options like Serpent Spine, Red Horn Stone Thresher, Beacon of the Red Sea, Unforged or the Wolf's Gravestone. Especially R5 Serpent Spine, the damage difference is negligible, especially if you use her with Bennett. R1 Serpent Spine is also not far behind. However, over her F2P options like the Ultimate Overlord's Mega Magic Sword or the Black Cleave, her signature weapon is a decent upgrade. For more details on her weapon, you can check out my Navia build guide. Also look at this weapon.
So beautiful, so elegant, just looking like a wow. Just looking like a wow.
Also the weapon banner has Mist Splitter along with it, which is an amazing sword. So this banner is a win-win unless you already have Mist Splitter or don't wish to get it. One more thing to consider, pulling for the weapon can cost similar primogems to getting her C2. So if I had to summarize this video, you absolutely don't need either her C1, C2 or signature weapon. However, if I had to rank these, I would put her C2 at the top, followed by her signature weapon and keep her C1 at the end. Do keep in mind for the signature weapon, I have ranked it second considering you don't have any of the alternative I mentioned earlier. And if you don't want the Mist Splitter, don't pull for the weapon banner. Her C1 is more primogems friendly, but I don't think it's needed unless you want to go for her C2. Also, one thing to keep in mind is that there are other new characters that are going to come like Clorinda, Arlecchino and Chiori. According to rumors, Chiori is supposed to buff Navia, so skipping her constellation and weapon and saving for Chiori or future characters instead can be a wise choice. Even if Chiori doesn't become Navia's support, there are other supports to consider like Furina, Zhongli or Albedo. Personally, I am going for a weapon since I like how it looks and I don't mind getting Mist Splitter since I don't have any great swords. Let me know in the comments what are you going to pull for, and that's all for this video. I hope it was helpful. Don't forget to like and share the video to help with my SEO and subscribe for more Genshin Impact content. Thanks for watching.